Good evening, my beautiful butterflies and fly guys. Listen, I know you're ready to get into tonight's discussion, so without pause, let's get to it. Phaedra Parks, MARLO Hampton, and Nene Leakes. What do these three women from the Real Housewives of Atlanta have in common? Well, you don't want to miss tonight's discussion because it's going to be a good one. So go ahead and grab your favorite beverage, and we'll be right back after this. Are you ready, AB? All right, let's get it. Hit it. Yeah, in the building.
He spoke fashion. I'm telling him he spoke fashion. So bad. He spoke fashion. I'm telling him he spoke.
Again, I thank you for joining us, and I'm glad that you have taken time out of your busy schedule to have this conversation. And I must say, it is so good to get back to you guys after the holidays, and I hope you all had a wonderfully blessed Thanksgiving. And on tonight, He Spoke Fashion is celebrating, that's right, our 50th episode. And I want to take this time, yes, to thank each and every one of you who have joined us and stayed faithful on this journey. Now listen, why don't you give yourself a round of applause? Go ahead and clap your hands for yourself. Now, on to the topic for tonight's discussion, all right? So I know many of you have heard of many people who have determined that it is time for some change in terms of the looks department. My question is, and the topic of discussion is, do black men find women with enhancements more attractive? Now listen, before you tune me out, we will not only answer this question, but provide some information for those of you who determine that the answer is yes, and therefore you're looking to do some enhancing soon. Again, this is He Spoke Fashion, and I am the host, Daylon Thomas, where we discuss women's fashion from a man's perspective. And although this is not fashion as we normally see it, it is fashion in the sense that instead of making changes in your clothing to improve your overall disposition, many are choosing to go under the knife instead. But before we get into our discussion, let's take a look at this clip. And we'll be right back after this.
It's a heartbreaking time for the family of a woman who died, and they want to warn others. The plastic surgeon didn't have a license, and as Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes tells us, he operated on a third woman that same day who still has not recovered.
Kiana Weaver was told it would be a simple 4-hour procedure, a tummy tuck and some other cosmetic work. She and a close friend both signed up and headed down to Tijuana to the Art Silhouette Aesthetic Surgery Clinic. But her friend ended up hospitalized for 2 weeks, and Kiana died on the operating table.
I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Dalisha Smith was with Kiana that January day. She's engaged to Kiana's brother, Keyshawn Robbins, and had to break the news to him and to Kiana's mother, Yolanda Weaver.
This just destroyed our family.
Weaver says she wants to warn people about the Tijuana clinic, saying the doctor who worked on her daughter is not a licensed plastic surgeon. And according to the San Diego Union Tribune, a third woman also fell seriously ill that day after plastic surgery at the clinic. She's now suffering from kidney failure. Eyewitness News was unable to reach Dr. Jesus Manuel Baez Lopez. His voicemail was full and our email was not answered. The clinic's website today offline, but its Instagram account is still active. Weaver says the clinic never pronounced Kiana dead and never reported her death to the U.S. Embassy.
They just discarded my daughter like she was a piece of trash. No one still has called me to say, oh, I'm sorry.
Weaver says an autopsy determined Kiana died from a heart attack and blood clotting issues. Kiana's 2 children now left with no mother, and her baby brother robbed of his best friend.
I'm lost. I tell my mom every day, Mom, I'm lost. What do you mean? I just don't know what to do no more.
But Weaver is on a mission. She wants to get her daughter's story out there so other people know the dangers of discount plastic surgery outside the U.S. and the ultimate price you may end up paying.
Don't do it because it's not worth it. All I can say is I'm going to keep fighting. I have to be her voice, and I want her.
It's heartbreaking time for the family of a woman.
Wow. Such a sad, very sad story. And for Kiana's family, we send our prayers from He Spoke Fashion. And while some of us will look at that video clip and say, well, that happened in another country, but perhaps she should have known better. I want to challenge you in your insensitive way of thinking. And I'm going to challenge you because I want you to watch this clip. And we'll be back after this.
Quest for a new look killed her. Now the person who played doctor in this St. Louis woman's surgery faces criminal punishment. Right now, the woman behind us is jailed, accused of killing that St. Louis mother. Investigators say Lisa Fernandez gave her client deadly silicone injections.
The arrest coming years after the victim's death, but now a message to all those watching right from the victim's family. Here's News 4's Gabriela Vidal.
If Miles was in the room, you knew she was in the room. She's very outgoing, funny, loved to dance.
It's how Calvin and Melvin Arnold remember their niece, Marja McClendon, the best, the life of the party, and a wonderful parent to her 3 children.
We never gave up on getting justice for Marja.
McClendon died on April 30th, 2018, days after traveling from St. Louis to Houston to receive silicone butt injections.
The last conversation I had with her, she told me she was getting it one more time. She said, Uncle, I'm going to just do it one more time. I said, Marja, please don't do it one more time.
To us looking at her, you didn't think she need this.
At the time, they didn't know an unlicensed cosmetic surgeon, Lisa Fernandez, had done the procedure. Harris County court documents say McClendon experienced a number of reactions, including coughing up blood and shortness of breath, and Fernandez had to stop the procedure multiple times. McClendon ended up hospitalized in Houston, eventually flew back to St. Louis, where she was hospitalized again and died.
It cost her life.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it.
On Tuesday, Fernandez was arrested in Houston for a traffic violation. Police say she had no driver's license. And while in custody, Harris County prosecutors say she confessed to Marja's 2018 death. KHOU TV reports that St. Louis Metropolitan Police are also investigating Fernandez, but the department would not answer News 4's request for comment.
Injecting silicone into the body is a no.
Filberto Rodriguez is a board-certified cosmetic surgeon in South Texas who's worked directly with patients to correct similar illegal cosmetic procedures.
You're not being asked to sign informed consent, and you can't find this person on your state medical board website. Those are massive red flags. Secondly, if they don't have a clean office and it doesn't feel like a doctor's office, that should be a red flag.
Calvin and Melvin say Fernandez's arrest brings them closer to closure and hope anyone considering a cosmetic procedure think about what it could cost.
Don't do it. I mean, if you know the pain that you could possibly cause for a family and the hurt that's devastated this family, I would highly recommend it to give it a second thought.
Another red flag on cosmetic work is if the price or deal seems too good to be true, then it probably is. And if your procedure is being performed at a place like a nail salon or hotel room, that's also a major red flag. Gabriela Vidal, News 4.
Her quest for a new look.
Now, as we see, and again, we want to send our prayers to that family. We see that was in the U.S., in Houston, Texas, where that unfortunate event and demise of that young lady took place, because she was seeking to have this cosmetic surgery performed. And my question is, why? Is it because she believed that Black men find women with enhancements more attractive? Let's look at a comment from one of the viewers from that clip. It simply says, and this is Daryl French, he says, self-hate and low self-esteem kill this beautiful Black woman. I don't care how you put it or judge it. Whoever you choose as your higher power made you perfect in your own skin. All these so-called physical enhancements made her actions deadly, trying to save money and get it on the cheap by not going to a licensed doctor and proper medical facility. If that's what you choose to do with your body, WTF. If you can't afford cosmetic surgery, work with what you have, all right? And so let's look at that, and let me dissect that, because there are other reasons why people choose to go under the knife. It's not simply just because of low self-esteem. There are other reasons, all right? And so we can't just take it that, you know, they're going to a foreign country and having these procedures done, but that one was specifically in Houston, Texas, all right? So let me give you a bit of background. According to data from the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, the ASPS, nearly 250,000 more cosmetic procedures were performed in 2018 than in 2017. This isn't a new trend, right? The number of people getting cosmetic procedures has risen, watch this, steadily over the past 5 years. The top 5 cosmetic surgeries: breast augmentation is up 4%, liposuction is up 5%, nose reshaping down 2%, and eyelid surgery down 1%, and tummy tuck is about the same. But body sculpting procedures such as buttock augmentations, which improve the contour, size, or shape of your butt, and thigh lifts, which reduce excess skin and fat of your upper legs, also saw an increase. So I wonder what demographic is having the butt lifts and the removing of the excess skin and fat, all right? I'm just saying. But my question is, why do we need body modifications? And my good friend Maurice, shout out to Maurice, friend of the show, he just sent me this clip, and it was from the rapper Plies. Yes, the rapper Plies, that's his name. And he said it this way. He said, why do ladies need butt implant surgery, plastic surgery, boob surgery? He says, the only person who you're going to attract is someone ugly with money. That's what Plies. And then he lands on this. Know what you are doing this for. He said, know what you're doing this for. But let's look at the downside, because again, there's been a great increase in the number of procedures done every year. In the past 5 years, there have been a great increase. And of course, there's a downside. So why is this body modification bad? And as the doctor on that last clip alluded to, he said having a part of your body removed or a foreign body added can cause severe trauma and introduce high infection risk, low infections, transmission of blood-borne pathogens, and distant infections are all high risk with any body modification procedure, modification procedures, right? And I'm no doctor, but that sounds like that could be dangerous. In fact, while the majority of procedures are performed on women, get this, men's use of cosmetic procedures has increased 20% since the year 2000. Some suggest that cosmetic procedures can improve self-esteem and combat negative body image. So there are some positives, the reasons why people are choosing to go under the knife. But my question is, with so many options out there that don't require surgery, why do you think some women still decide to go under the knife? Can you help me out in the chat? Let me know what you think the reason is that women are deciding to still go under the knife. All right, for me, I'm asking the question, is it because they believe that Black men find women more attractive that have enhancements? And then why do you think that instead of investing in healthy options like a gym membership or eating healthy, that the reason that they take so many shortcuts? Now, I know we live in an instant gratification world now, but I would suggest and recommend to you that you don't take the shortcuts, that you invest in the gym memberships and eating healthy, and then using fashion to your advantage. And then simply, and hopefully some of you in the chat can help me with this question. What do you think is the reason for the increase in cosmetic surgeries in both men and women? Now fellas, y'all gotta help me with this. What y'all getting done? I'm just saying, what y'all getting done? I mean, I could use a little hair, maybe a hair transplant, but you know what? My son, he told me, Dad, I can give you a lace front. I said, son, I'm gonna pass on that one. But what are you guys getting done? You let me know. What are some of the things that you would get done if you chose to have cosmetic surgery? Listen, it's just between you and I. Everyone else on the chat, we're gonna ignore them. I want to see that. What is it that you would get done? All right, cosmetically, if you had the opportunity. You see, I'm not one that just looks in judgment. I understand the self-esteem argument. However, do you believe that this is the reason for the majority of women? And if so, what would you say is the psychology behind it? All right, because there has to be a way of thinking that goes into play when someone determines they're going to go under the knife. Let me ask you another question that I hope that we'll answer. But what influence, if any, do you think social media has had on the increase in younger women having cosmetic surgery? That is the question. Are they just doing it for the gram? Well, again, a lot of times it's about imagery. It is about what you're feeding yourself. What are you feeding yourself? What are you feeding to your psyche? What do you see on television or in social media that then influences you to make a decision that you would not necessarily normally make? Well, let's look at some examples of people who have now allegedly gone under the knife. All right? See, I remember a time when the only people who were getting cosmetic surgery, they did not look like us. But now, the age is younger, and the community looks more like mine. Let's start off with this young lady. Miss PHAEDRA Parks from Real Housewives of Atlanta. And we see here PHAEDRA in all her glory. That's the new PHAEDRA. But let's look back at maybe season 1. This is PHAEDRA and her ex-husband, Apollo Nida. Very good looking couple. I thought when I watched the show in the beginning, I thought this was a great looking couple. They looked good together. Unfortunately, there were other underlying issues that actually led to the demise of that marriage. But here is PHAEDRA again. I see an attractive young Black woman right there. What do you see? Let me know in the chat. Do you agree with me? Give me some thumbs up. Do you think that she looks very nice? Looking very natural. Even better. Even better. This is PHAEDRA, I believe in 2015. This is Phaedra in 2015. It still looks good. I mean, of course, we all go through changes in our bodies as we mature, as we age like fine wine, right? Let's look at Phaedra now, the new look. Uh-oh. Now, I know sometimes we want to age backwards. It's quite all right. It's quite all right. I don't necessarily have a problem in anyone doing what they want to do with their body, all right? I didn't create you. It's up to you. However, let's look at another picture of Miss Phaedra Parks. Now, we now know Phaedra is single. Now, she might be booed up. Y'all let me know. Is Phaedra booed up? Is she booed up? Because, I mean, look, the look has changed. Now, she went, is that Little Kim, Nicki Minaj? Now, you guys help me out here. When you go get your surgery, do you take a picture of what you want to look like to the surgeon with you and say, this is what I want? And look, let me ask you a question. Do they give you a rendering? Like, do they give like this photo of what you're going to look like after you have these enhancements done? Okay, now I don't know who this young lady is. Do y'all know who this is? Can you, AB, can you do me a favor? Can you try to put this picture up with the one for 2015? Can you put both of those up? No, let's go with the other one. Let's go with the other one. Yes. Let's see what we can see here, because I mean, you guys help me out here. Please, can you help a brother out? Oh, alrighty. Let's see, can we do that? I'm telling you, I'm
Bruh.
I don't know if is that the same person? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm telling you, listen, I agree that she looks a bit different. Now let me ask you guys a question. Do you think there was maybe some dissatisfaction in the way she looked, and then the fact that she divorced, her ex-husband has moved on, perhaps she's moved on, or maybe who she's moved on with is not quite the caliber of the ex-husband, and so what she's doing now is trying to enhance so that maybe she can get a better quality of dude? I don't know. I do know that there is a difference in the look, and you know what what comes with a new look is a new attitude. I'm telling you, this is Little Kim. This is Little Kim. You want to rumble with the bee, huh? I'm telling you, she has changed her look altogether. Miss Phaedra Parks, is that the last one we have? I think we have one more. Yes. Let's show Miss Phaedra Parks. I'm telling you, I think this was a little before, but I would say, what was wrong with this look? Still, AB says a little Kimish. I mean, you guys help me out. Does that look a little? Now, there are certain things, and you guys help me out, because I think there's certain things you can do with the makeup now. The contour, the nose, the lips. You can do things with the cheekbones to make your face look a bit different without going under the knife. So my question is, if you can do it that way, why go under the knife? I mean, unless something we're going to get to a little bit later, is the factor in why they are determining to do just this. So let's give it up for Miss Phaedra Parks. We've seen the transformation. You know, TMZ has this thing they call it good looks or good doc. or good doctor, meaning did they go under a plastic surgeon, or they just have natural good looks and they've aged well, or did they have a good doctor? What do you say? Did Phaedra Parks have a good doctor, or did she just grow older gracefully? You tell me. Hey, fellas, which one? I mean, obviously, I didn't want to notice this, but if you notice somewhere in the chest area, right, there is an enhancement there. I mean, that looked like about a D from an A minus. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I don't know who said that. I don't know who said that. All right, let's go on. Now we're going to look at another cast member, what I say, from Real Housewives of Atlanta, Marlo Hampton. And of course, maybe, did she get her peach this year? I know she didn't have a peach before, but I thought they said here in 2021 season, whatever, she was going to get a peach. Y'all help me out in the chat. Is she getting a peach or what? All right, but let's look at Marlo. Let's take a look at Marlo. Oh, look at this. All right. I mean, I think high school maybe or college graduation. You know, I would say an average looking, right? I mean, you know, nothing bad about looking average. I'm average looking, right? But you know, hey, I'm sure that she still had her share of male suitors trying to court her. And that sounds real old, but you know, so some dudes trying to holler, all right? I'm sure she had that, all right? So let's move on, okay? Let's look at 2015, all right? Maybe the checks are coming in a little bit better now. I mean, because look, let's be quite honest. When we're doing a little bit better financially, we do take care of ourselves a bit better. Right? We pay closer attention to our skin. We pay closer attention to what products we use for our hair. All right? So look, this is still natural. You know, you take interest in those things based on where you are financially. That's right, I said it. People look at you and they can gauge not just by your fashion, but the way your skin looks, how you're doing financially. All right? And now we see a bit of a change here, okay? I mean, the hair, the slimming of the physique here, and you know, she was slim a bit there, but maybe she didn't determine to go under the knife. Maybe, just maybe, she did it by healthy eating and a gym membership and working out and exercising. Hey, I would suggest that you try that first. Now, it's not going to work for everyone. Some of us have more problems. We have some things that are going on in our bodies that preclude us from losing the weight that someone else would while exercising. So if you make a determination you're going to do something else, that's up to you. But make a decision for you, not for anyone else. Let's go on, okay? I mean, look, at the skin looks good. She looks like she's glowing right there. You know, she's probably using Mary Kay. Use the good products, right? Let's go on. Now, something is changing. I see something in the bosom era. In Abraham's bosom is where she. No. I'm just saying this is where Samson laid in Delilah's lap. That's the reason why. So listen, okay, we see some enhancements perhaps. Let's move on. Now this is a different look here. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't see maybe any enhancements, but I can tell that there is a change. There is a change going on in her face, right? The cheekbones look a little bit more defined. Yes, defined is the word I was looking for. All right, let's go on. Now this is when you got your money right here. So everything looks a bit different to me. I don't know. You guys help me out. I don't know if this is cosmetic or, a cosmetic surgery, or just a good makeup artist. Because I know I've seen pictures where a good makeup artist has done miracles to some of y'all Instagram photos. Come on, be honest on the ground. You guys look different, all right? But here, I'm not so 100% certain. I can look at, can you put up that first photo and put that up beside this photo? You know what? AB may be onto something. She may have gotten a chest reduction if you look at these photos, right? And listen, for health reasons, you may choose to do the same thing. So that's why I said it's not necessarily always that it is self-esteem, low self-esteem, or self-confidence issues that will lead a person to have cosmetic surgery. It could simply be health reasons. All right, let's move on. So now we're down. We're getting to it. Now, would you think that perhaps the reason for these changes has to do more so with self-esteem, or the fact that perhaps there's a different quality of man that I will attract by having this cosmetic surgery done? I remember in the old days, only people that had any type of cosmetic surgery, facelifts, Botox, whatever, they had done, breast jobs done, were people that were affluent, right? Because you could not afford to simply go and pay out of pocket to have these procedures done. That's what took, at the beginning when we watched those clips, it led some people to seek other means to have this surgery done. And unfortunately, by seeking other means, it led to their demise. All right, let's move on here. So next we're going to number 3, Real Housewives of Atlanta superstar Nene Leakes. All right, so let's look at Miss Leakes. Now, again, Miss Leakes here, very natural. Very natural. I would say the only thing is probably the wig, right? Because we know that ain't her hair. That ain't her real hair. But that's okay. All right? So let's look at another. That was season 1, season 2. Again, very natural looking, beautiful Black woman. And again, I want to say to you that men like myself appreciate the natural woman, all right? It's not to say we don't appreciate the other. I know, at least the men that I have spoken with concerning this topic, prefer you in your God-given bodies. But let's look at when Nene started to have this transition. First it was the tummy tuck. Now I have to say this to any mother out there that, has carried the child and maybe has some stomach issues, then this is something that, I feel that it's okay, all right? Because anything to boost your self-esteem, to make you feel better, look, it's going to make us feel better. But this was the start of her transitioning from the old Nene to the new Nene. So I remember this, that, people started in social media and even on television, they started to talk about and have this conversation about, it seemed that she was having a lot of being a fanatic concerning plastic surgery, all right? And you can see there's definitely something going on here. with the nose and veneers. Yes. Let's look at another. Now you can tell right here before and after, and this wasn't after until now. This was years ago, where she was transitioning. The nose, the veneers, perhaps we already said the tummy tuck. Yeah. So she was doing it, and my question is, as long as she has the right purpose in mind, what do we care, right? As long as she feels good about herself, what do we care? But let's move past that and see what she's looking like now. Now, I believe there is a sense of going too far. Let's look at another photo of Miss Leaks. Wow. All right, listen. You tell me, do you like that look? I mean, is this what we're seeking after? Fly guys, help me out here. Is this something that you would, welcome? Let's put, are we able to put that photo and maybe one of the earlier photos? Let's start with that first one there. Yes. Because for me, my preference would be the natural look on Miss Leaks. Come on, fellas, help me out. Help me out, because I see someone who looks totally different. Totally different. And then gonna act like you can get plastic surgery. Come on now. Come on, man. Okay. You're right. Yes. So we're seeing how Nene is transitioning. Let's look at this photo. Now, I will say this is a great looking photo of Nene. This is a great look for Miss Leaks. This photo, she looks glamorous and fabulous. Now, I don't understand. Now, the blonde hair, I get it. It's a look. It's a whole vibe, right? And I suggest this could probably just be a good makeup artist. I mean, of course, we already know she did go under the knife for the nose, right? And the stomach. Everything else could be worked out. I would suggest, and I would recommend to anyone, again, to start with the natural. What you can do naturally, working out. You can't naturally get rid of a nose, right? So, I mean, we understand that. If you're uncomfortable with your nose or a certain particular something on your body that you deem important and significant towards your self-esteem, then listen, it's all right. But make sure you're doing it for you. That's what I want to land on. Now let's look at the reasons that I believe are behind the increase in those who are getting cosmetic surgery. Again, our topic tonight is, do Black men find women with enhancements more attractive? Hold up. Stop the show. Excuse me for interrupting your viewing pleasure. But listen, guys, we're almost at the end of the show, and I haven't asked you once to do this. But if you haven't already subscribed on YouTube, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button down below. And if you, by chance, are watching on Facebook, could you please hit like? Look, it literally doesn't cost you anything, right? Now, back to the show. All right, I want to give you 6 reasons why cosmetic procedures are now on the upswing, excuse me. Reason number 1, simply more screen time. All right? So Dr. Dennis Strimpf of FACS, author of Finding Beauty, Think, See, and Feel Beautiful, and founder of Sweetgrass Plastic Surgery in Charleston, South Carolina. He says he thinks that cell phones, selfies, and social media platforms have greatly driven the desire for plastic surgery. So if you would think back even 10 years ago, let alone 25, rarely would you see yourself in pictures. He says maybe a birthday or wedding, usually some type of special event. But now, with mobile devices, platforms, we're literally seeing hundreds, if not thousands of pictures of ourselves documenting things we don't like about our appearance, as well as the aging process. In other words, we're all under constant scrutiny. By who? By ourselves. Wow, did you get that? Scrutiny by ourselves, because again, you know, when you take a photo and then you go and you heavily scrutinize that photo and see things that you may consider a flaw. Why? Because simply we have more screen time. Reason number 2, more acceptance. So when Alan Matarasto, MD, again from FACS, first built his private practice in New York City over 25 years ago, he says, and I quote, "I literally put in a back door because people didn't want to walk in the front," end quote. He is also the president of ASPS and a clinical professor of surgery at Hofstra University. He says, again, I quote, "Now with the rise of social media, people are in the recovery room posting about what they went through and sending pictures to friends that show the bandage on their nose," end quote, he says. And then he says, people are much more comfortable owning their self-care rituals, including those that involve needles and knives. And since 2015, the total number of reviews on Real Self has more than doubled. Community users often post before and after photos. Wow. And they share candid details about the treatment they chose to have. The doctor also goes on to say, "I also have patients come into my office and request to be on my Instagram feed, which is something we never would have seen 5 years ago." And then she credits millennials for owning self-improvement. They feel that they don't have to apologize for their decisions, whatever they may be. And this attitude is making Generation Xers and baby boomers feel that they don't have to either. So it's more acceptance. And I would concur with that assessment that years ago, if you had a procedure done, no matter how minute that procedure was, you had a mole removed, you did that in total security. You didn't let anybody know. They would have to just know by noticing on your face that that mole is gone because you weren't going to tell them. Reason number 3, simply this: more affordability. Thank God for Obamacare. Or the Affordable Care Act, right? Whichever one you want to call, there are some things that we now know are included in your health insurance. Some cosmetic things, go and check, that can be done because it's now more affordable. That's the reason for the upswing in these enhancements. Number 4. Reason number 4 is simply technological advances. That's right. Technology has made our lives easier. I don't know if you agree with me. If you agree with me that technology makes our life easier, when was the last time you had to remember a phone number, right? It's made it easier for us. Now, some could say to our own chagrin because we aren't remembering as much as we need to. But look, technology has helped Technology has helped us in surgeries, in treatments all across the board. It has made our lives better. And that is one of the reasons why we see the increase in the upswing of cosmetic surgeries. Reason number 5, simply this: more health benefits. That's right, my friend. So maybe getting your lips plumped won't have benefits beyond increasing your self-esteem. All right? But in certain circumstances, I want you to hear me closely. Some cosmetic treatments can benefit your health. Botox, for instance, has been shown to help with conditions such as chronic migraines, excessive sweating, Bell's palsy, and perhaps even major depression. Women who choose a breast reduction, again, as we alluded to before, often get relief from disc or back problems. And plastic surgery allows people who've gone through weight loss surgery to shed extra skin that can cause severe rashes and infections. So while it may be that they're not curing cancer, the impact and psychological benefit of some cosmetic treatments can simply be profound. Reason number 6 is simply this: more self-confidence. So according to a 2019 survey by Real Self/Harris Poll, the top cited motivations amongst those who've had or are thinking about a cosmetic treatment are to improve self-esteem, confidence, and to look as good as they feel. That's consistent across both surgical and non-surgical procedures. And those reasons haven't changed since Real Self launched a decade ago. So despite all the changes in the technical aspects of aesthetic surgery, human desires and motivations remain the same. You see, we all want to present our best selves to the world. The ways we do that depend on who we are. So the question remains, do Black men find women with enhancements more attractive? That's what you tuned in for. And I would say that what most men that I have spoken with say is simply this. And what is most attractive is how confident a woman is in being who she is. If that means that you determine that you want to enhance something on your body, then as long as you are doing so to please you, then we want you to walk in that confidence. And if by chance you determine the best you can do is to make changes the natural way through exercise and healthy living, then walk in that confidence, and the man for you will find you. All right? Listen, I have really enjoyed this conversation with you all on tonight, and I hope that you enjoyed this discussion. I'm coming to the end, but before I go, I want to leave you with this final tip, and that is simply this: make certain you're doing it for you and for nobody else. You see, the confidence you have when you decide solely for you is attractive to not only Black men, but I would say to most men. Before we go tonight, I want to wish my lovely, beautiful baby girl, Brittany, a happy birthday. We're gonna celebrate as soon as we get a chance, but we want to just say happy birthday to you. Come on, give my daughter Brittany some love in the chat. Give her some hearts. Wish her happy birthday. Shout out to Brittany. We love you. I hope you're enjoying this birthday. It's a milestone birthday. We wish you well. We wish you blessings upon blessings upon blessings as you move forward in your life. All right. Well, listen, I thank you all for joining me on tonight. I hope you have enjoyed this time with me as I have with you, being my co-host on tonight, being my special guest. Listen, we've had a great time, and I want you to have a good night, good fashion, and remember, he spoke fashion to you. We'll see you next week. Hope you join us then.
He spoke fashion. I'm telling you, he spoke fashion. Not so bad. He spoke fashion. I'm telling you, he spoke.